Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome again back to the Earth, our Mudfossil Gaia. Have a really fun story to share with you guys today. I was watching JayDreamerz. If you guys don't know JayDreamerz, I'll leave a link, of course. Go check him out. Awesome channel. He's doing mud fossil stuff again, and he did one about, well, it was Taking Down a Titan, I think was the title, and it was mostly about King Og and all the different stories that correlate to the same giant Titan being taken down, right? Well, a lot of these stories have geographical locations to go look at, so I went looking, and I think I found Og. So I'm going to share the story with you guys because this is a good story. There are many versions, like always. So, you know, I'll share with you a few of the variations after I read you this one. I think this is probably my favorite version because it involves a unicorn. So this is going to be a fun one. So I will leave a link. This version I found on sacredtexts.com, and it is considered a Jewish fairy tale. The Giant of the Flood. Just before the world was drowned, all the animals gathered in front of the ark, and Father Noah carefully inspected them. All ye that lie down shall enter and be saved from the deluge that is about to destroy the world, he said. Ye that stand cannot enter. Then the various creatures began to march forward into the ark. Father Noah watched them closely. He seemed troubled. I wonder, he said to himself, how shall I obtain a unicorn? And how shall I get it onto the ark? I can bring thee a unicorn, Father Noah, he heard in a voice of thunder. And turning round, he saw the giant Og. But thou must agree to save me too from the flood. Begone, cried Noah. Thou art a demon, not a human being. I can have no dealings with thee. Pity me, whined the giant. See how my figure is shrinking? Once I was so tall that I could drink water from the clouds and toast fish at the sun. I fear not that I shall be drowned, but that all the food will be destroyed and that I shall perish of hunger. Noah, however, only smiled, but he grew serious again when Og brought a unicorn. It was as big as a mountain, although the giant said it was the smallest one he could find. It lay down in front of the ark, and Noah saw by that action that he must save it. For some time he was puzzled what to do, but at last a bright idea struck him. He attached the huge beast to the ark by a rope fastened to its horn so that it could swim alongside and be fed. Og seated himself on a mountain near at hand and watched the rain pouring down. Faster and faster it fell in torrents until the rivers overflowed and the waters began to rise rapidly on the land and sweep all things away. Father Noah stood gloomily before the door of the ark until the water reached his neck. Then it swept him inside. The door closed with a bang, and the ark rose gallantly on the flood and began to move along. The unicorn swam alongside, and as it passed Og the giant, he jumped onto its back. See, Father Noah, he cried with a huge chuckle, you will have to save me after all. I will snatch all the food you put through the window for the unicorn. Noah saw that it was useless to argue with Og, who might indeed sink the ark with his tremendous strength. I will make a bargain with thee, he shouted from the window. I will feed thee, but thou must promise to be a servant to my descendants." Og was very hungry, so he accepted the conditions and devoured his first breakfast. The rain continued to fall in great big sheets that shut out the light of day. Inside the ark, however, all was bright and cheerful, for Noah had collected the most precious of the stones of the earth and had used them for the windows. Their radiance illuminated the whole of the 3 stories in the ark. Some of the animals were troublesome, and Noah got no sleep at all. The lion had a bad attack of fever. In a corner, a bird slept the whole of the time. This was the phoenix. "Wake up," said Noah one day. "It is feeding time." "Thank you," returned the bird. "I saw thou wert busy, Father Noah, so I would not trouble thee." "Thou art a good bird," said Noah, much touched. "Therefore thou shalt never die." One day the rain ceased, the clouds rolled away, and the sun shone brilliantly again. How strange the world looked! It was like a vast ocean. Nothing but water could be seen anywhere, and only 1 or 2 of the highest mountain tops peeped above the flood. All the world was drowned, and Noah gazed on the desolate scene from one of the windows with tears in his eyes. Og, riding gaily on the unicorn behind the ark, was quite happy. "Ha ha," he laughed gleefully. "I shall be able to eat and drink just as much as I like now, and shall never be troubled by those tiny little creatures, the mortals." "Be not so sure," said Noah. "Those tiny mortals shall be thy masters, and shall outlive thee, and the whole race of giants and demons." The giant did not relish this prospect. He knew that whatever Noah prophesied would come true, and he was so sad that he ate no food for 2 days and began to grow smaller and thinner. He became more and more unhappy as day by day the water subsided and the mountains began to appear. At last, the ark rested on Mount Ararat, and Og's long ride came to an end. "I will soon leave thee, Father Noah," he said. "I shall wander round the world to see what is left of it." "Thou canst not go till I permit thee," said Noah. "Hast thou forgotten our compact so soon? Thou must be my servant. I have work for thee." Giants are not fond of work, and Og, who was the father of all the giants, was particularly lazy. He cared only to eat and sleep, but he knew he was in Noah's power, and he shed bitter tears when he saw the land appear again. "Stop," commanded Noah. "Dost thou wish to drown the world once more with thy big tears?" So Og sat on a mountain and rocked from side to side, weeping silently to himself. He watched the animals leave the ark and had to do all the hard work when Noah's children built houses. Daily he complained that he was shrinking to the size of the mortals, for Noah said there was not too much food. One day Noah said to him, "Come with me, Og. I am going around the world. I am commanded to plant fruit and flowers to make the earth beautiful. I need thy help." For many days they wandered all over the earth, and Og was compelled to carry the heavy bag of seeds. The last thing Noah planted was the grapevine. "What is this, food or drink?" asked Og. "Both," replied Noah. "It can be eaten, or its juice can be made into wine." And he planted it. He blessed the grape. "Be thou," he said, "a plant pleasing to the eye. Bear fruit that will be food for the hungry, and a health-giving drink to the thirsty and sick." Og grunted. "I will offer up sacrifice to this wonderful fruit," he said. "May I not do so now that our labors are over?" Noah agreed, and the giant brought a sheep, a lion, a pig, and a monkey. First, he slaughtered the sheep, then the lion. "When a man shall taste but a few drops of the wine," he said, "he shall be as harmless as a sheep. When he takes a little more, he shall be as strong as a lion." Then Og began to dance around the plant, and he killed the pig and the monkey. Noah was very much surprised. "I am giving thy descendants 2 extra blessings," said Og, chuckling. He rolled over and over on the ground in great glee, and then said, "When a man shall drink too much of the juice of the wine, then shall he become a beast like the pig. And if then he still continues to drink, he shall behave foolishly like a monkey. And that is why, unto this day, too much wine makes a man silly." Og himself often drank too much, and many years afterward, when he was a servant to the patriarch Abraham, the latter scolded him until he became so frightened that he dropped a tooth. Abraham made an ivory chair for himself from this tooth. Afterwards, Og became king of Bashan. But he forgot his compact with Noah, and instead of helping the Israelites to obtain Canaan, he opposed them. "I will kill them all with one blow," he declared. Exerting all his enormous strength, he uprooted a mountain, and raising it high above his head, he prepared to drop it on the camp of the Israelites and crush it. But a wonderful thing happened. The mountain was full of grasshoppers and ants, who had bored millions of tiny holes in it. When King Og raised the great mass, it crumbled in his hands and it fell over his head and round his neck like a collar. He tried to pull it off, but his teeth became entangled in the mass. As he danced about in rage and pain, Moses, the leader of the Israelites, approached him. Moses was a tiny man compared with Og. He was only 10 ells high, and he carried with him a sword of the same length. With a mighty effort, he jumped 10 ells into the air, and raising the sword, he managed to strike the giant on the ankle and wound him mortally. Thus, after many years, did the terrible giant of the flood perish for breaking his word to the father Noah. So I will leave a link for this video that JayDreamerz did. He did a great job, connecting all the dots between the different stories that correlate to this one same story. And I found this part here particularly interesting. And this is what made me go searching. In the second paragraph here, this says, "I was once a gravedigger. On one occasion, when pursuing a deer, I entered the thigh bone of a corpse and pursued it for 3 parasangs, but did neither reach the deer nor the end of the thigh bone. When I returned, I was told that it was the thigh bone of the king of Bashan." So, of course, that had me go looking. And the first thing I needed to know is what a parasang was. So a parasang is approximately 3 miles. So his thigh bone alone would have been almost 10 miles long. So I went looking for where this could have happened at, and the location that I got, I had to do a little cross-referencing and figuring out what they used to be as compared to what they're called now. The ancient cities, they usually have a different name now. So this Busan here, this was the area that they were at. This is in the southern regions of Syria, and I think this is him. I'll take you guys into Google Earth and give you a better view. But I believe this to be Og. And I did the measurements just to see, and he is about the right length for what a 10-mile thigh bone would have been. So let me take you guys into Google Earth and show you some more of these details. So right here in the southern region of Syria, right here, is where all of this is supposed to have happened. And there's this giant, like, stain is what it looks like. Well, this big reddish stained area would be the excrement from a dead, decaying body. And they have been planting and plowing and farming every single inch of this mountain range. The whole thing. And it would be very fertile soil, so it makes sense. So this whole area right here, the lighter brown in the middle, is, I believe, the body. And then you have all the runoff all around here. The details I can make out the best are his face here. You can see here's his chin, his mouth. See his nose here. And I think his eyelids, like right about here. But you can see, I mean, look at that. This is his nose right here. Okay. And his eye is about right up in here. And there was another part of the video JayDreamerz did. Another grave digger found himself in the eyeball of a corpse at one time and was told that was the king of Bashan. So a grave digger ended up like over here somewhere in the eyeball and knew that this was a body. They knew that this was King Og. I mean, look at that facial profile. You can even see his mouth right here. There's his chin. Little nostril there. His eyes they kind of look like they're closed here, maybe. But I think this whole thing right here is the eye socket. And it does kind of look like all of this could be the mountain that got caught around his neck and ended up on his neck like a collar. It really kind of looks just like that. So this here could have been the mountain. Sad story, really. I have been looking for the unicorn. I have not found any other parts of the story that talk about the unicorn, so I would really like to know what happened to this mountain-sized unicorn that they speak of that rode alongside the ark. Had I heard that part of the story in Sunday school, I probably would have paid more attention. So now this has me wondering, too, these spots that are like this, these brown spots like that, I see them everywhere. Like, here's another one here now. And so now I'm really starting to wonder if these other big spots like that could be other bodies. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this is probably King Og. Right demographic location, exact size that it should be for the stories. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure that bell is ringing so you'll be notified when my next video comes out. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and do share it with your friends. Till next time.